Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to the Java Asm tutorial. So today we are going to see the top 10 Java interview questions. Okay, and in this presentation I have tried to collect you the most interesting and common questions. Okay, also I will provide you the questions with the correct answer. Okay, so let's take a look one by one, right? Well, so the first question is, how good are you in a Java? Evaluate yourself on a scale of 10. So this is a very tricky questions, okay, the interviewer may ask to you, okay, and basically interviewer wants to know, okay, about yourself or your level of proficiency in a Java. Okay, if you sounds familiar, you should go with a bit lower. You will probably get a questions according to the level you have admitted. Hence, if you are saying if you are said 10 and if you are not able to answer fairly difficult questions, it will be a drawback for you, right? So while you are giving the answer of these questions, okay, evaluate yourself. Okay, if you think like your proficiency level, the scale 7, then better to give a 7. Okay, the maybe probably the interviewer will ask you the questions at that level, right? So next questions, please. Well, the second question could be, explain the difference between Java 7 and the Java 8. So with this question, interviewer basically wants to know if you have a knowledge of the Java 8 features or not, or if you have worked on the Java 8 features or not. So, to be honest, there is a lots of differences between the Java 7 and the Java 8. So before Java 8, till Java 7 or Java was a pure object-oriented programming language. However, from the Java 8, Java is also known to be a functional programming language, right? So, there is a variety of the new features have been introduced with the Java 8. Okay, one of the features is, the Lambda expression, okay, have been introduced in this release, Java 8 release. So it will allow you to treat functionality as a method argument or code as a data, right? So, you can define the functional interface. Functional interface is nothing. An interface which have a single method is known as a functional interface. So using the functional interface, you should be able to achieve the Lambda expression. Second features could be the method reference. So it's easy to read Lambda expression for method that already have a name, right? Third features could be default method, the repeating annotation features, the type annotation features. Okay, you have a predicate method. All these are all the the features that Java has introduced with Java 8 version, right? So let's go to our next questions. So which type of collections do you know about? This is the questions. Generally, there is a variety way to ask these questions. So with these questions, interviewer wants to know if you have worked on the collections framework or not. Okay, so here you should know about the most important one, like the array list, linked list, the vector, a stack, hash map, and the hash set. So the interviewer may ask the counter question, what is the difference between the array list and the linked list? What is the difference between array list and the stack? Okay, how the hash map internally works? This is also a very, very important question. Okay, so sorry. So here, the best way to learn about these collections type, try to learn as much as possible because the variety of questions is almost, inexhaustible, right? So you should go through the collections framework with all the features, especially array list, linked list, hash map, and the hash set. The second important questions, fourth one is, what method does the object class have? So object is the parent or the root class of all the classes in the Java hierarchy, right? So object class are present in the java.lang.package, right? So the object class contains the clone method, it contains the equals method, it contains the finalize method, it contains the hash code method to return the hash code for the value for the object. Okay, it contains the toString method, uh, notify all, and the wait method. Generally thread use. The object class contains this also. So this is also important questions that are being asked, right? Why is the string object immutable in a Java? This is our fifth questions, and this is a very, very important questions also. So you need to understand the meaning of immutability. Immutability means once you created an object, you should not be able to change the state of the object. Even though if you're trying to change the state of the object, the new object will get created, okay, and the existing object will be as it is, as it was. So this is the meaning of the immutability. So the question is, string is class is immutable, right? So if you have created a string class object, you won't be able to change the string object. Either you can concatenate or append, the new object will get created. So why the Java has made string as a immutable? There is a various reason. First reason is string pool. Once you create any object or any string literal, it goes to the string pool. This way, Java runtime saves a lot of Java heap space. Okay, because different strings variable can refer to the same string variable in the pool. Okay, if the string is not immutable, then string interning will not have been possible, right? Because if any variable would have changed the value, it would have been reflected in other variables. So that's why string is immutable if you are considering the string pool. The second reason is, okay, the string is immutable is, if string is not immutable, then it would cause a several security threat to the application. For example, database username and password are passed as a string to get the database connection in a socket programming or host, or port details are also passed in a string. Since a string is immutable, its value cannot be changed, right? Otherwise, any hacker could have changed the referenced value to this all the database username and password and could have created an issue, right? String is immutable because it is safe for the multi-threading programming or application. Single string instance can be shared across the different threads, and this avoids the usage of synchronization for thread safety, right? So these are the main reason. One of the reason is also, since the string is immutable, its hash code is cached at the time of creation. It does not need to be calculated again, right? So this makes a great candidate for a key in a map, right? If you are using a map in a key value pair, so this is the best way to use that, right? And is very faster than the other hashmap key object. This is why the string is most used of hashmap keys, right? Let's go to the next. What is the difference between final, finally, and the finalize? This is a very common questions. If you are attending a 10 interview, probably you will be facing this question 8 times out of 10 times, right? So let's go with first final keyword. So final is the keyword, is used to make the variable or method constant, you can say. Once you assigned any value to that final variable, okay, you cannot change this. It can be assigned only once. You cannot assign the second times. Even if you're trying to assign, it will throw you an error, right? So finally is a keyword. Second is finally. So finally is the block, right? Used to execute important code, and it is always used with try and catch block. So even though your try and catch block is not executing, either the exceptions are coming or not, your finally block will be get executed, right? So this is the use of finally block. Third one is finalize. So finalize is the garbage collector method. So whenever your object is going to die or object is going to destroy, so garbage collector, before destroying the the object, it calls the finalize method to do the cleanup activity. Like we have a socket connection, open and close connections, and database connection. All the connection will get closed in a finalize method. So the next question is the diamond problem. So this is the the basic questions that are being asked to understand if you have a concept of inheritance, multiple inheritance or not, right? So suppose there is one class called superclass, and in that superclass we have a method called, say, get token. Okay, so if you are creating a derived class, let's say class A. So no, the class A will have a get token method. Okay, then class B also derived from superclass. Then class B will also have a get token method, right? And again, we are creating a class C, which are extending class A and class B, right? So class C, which will have a two get token method of class A and class B. So which version of the get token method will get used by the class C, right? So this is the confusion, ambiguity, right? So this is called a diamond problem. Okay, so to solve this, in a Java, we have introduced call. You cannot extend the multiple class, but you can implement the multiple inheritance, right? So let's go to the next questions. How can you make a class immutable? I have already, make you understand. Immutability means once you created an object, you should not be able to change the state of the object, right? So how will you create, like string is immutable, but how will you make sure, okay, that your class that you are creating is immutable, right? So, interviewer wants to know how you can create your own immutable class, right? So the first step is declare a class as a final, so it cannot be extended. The second step is make all fields private so that direct access is not allowed. Third is don't provide setter method for the variables. Fourth step is make all mutable fields final so that its value can be assigned only once. Fifth step is initialize all the fields via a constructor performing a deep copy. The sixth step is perform cloning of objects in the getter method to return a copy rather than returning the actual object reference, right? So I have also, create a separate video for the, to show you the demo as a programming. How can I achieve the immutable? I will give you the link so that you can go again and go each and every questions in a detail with the programming. Let's go to the next question. What does singleton class mean? So this is also important questions. Generally wants to, very frequently will be facing these questions if you are attending an interview. So singleton class means once the creating an object of that class, okay, there should be a single point of access to create an object of that class, right? And at any point of time, you will have a single instance of that class. Even if you're trying to create a multiple times object, it will return the same hash code or same instance of that class. Okay, where you want to restrict the instantiation of a class to only one object. There you can use the singleton class. The last one, 10th one is what is dependency injection? So this is the questions generally asked from the Java J2E or the Spring. So if you're working on the Java J2E or Spring, you should be and ready with these questions. So dependency injection is nothing, it's creating an object, okay, at the runtime, right? And it should not have a dependency, okay, with any other attributes. Like if you're creating an object of let's say simple class, so simple A is equal to new simple, right? This is the dependency. Okay, if you want to change you need to change uh, the code, right? you cannot create a runtime, even though if you're using the interface. Okay, you cannot achieve that in the even the interface. If you want to change uh, the derived class, you'll have to go to the code and make a changes, right? So using the dependency injection, we do configure in a XML file, or using the setter or getter method, you can achieve the dependency injections. So these are the all top 10 questions generally are being asked in the interview, and we should have a deep knowledge of this, these 10 questions. I have prepared a separate, the tutorial of each of these questions. Okay, I will share you the link, and I have given the, the example with code, how you can achieve and how you can write and explain with coding. Okay, since I cannot do the coding here in this short span of time, maybe 15 minutes or half an hour, so I have created a separate video. If you want to go and deep dive into that, please refer that link. Okay, and grow with that interview questions. So that's all about this. If you have liked this video, please like this tutorial, okay, and subscribe my channel if you're not subscribed yet for this kind of quality material, right? So thanks all. Thanks of watching this video. See you in the next step. Bye bye.